shows how long they can live. The flu virus.
Scenarios from chemical bombs at Olympic venues to potential drone strikes. 13,000 police officers will be used daily in the city, with 60,000 security personnel throughout the Olympic areas, all with the same goal: keeping athletes and spectators safe.
A Cumberland County man is accused of assault and letting his dog freeze to death in unrelated incidents. The Fayetteville Observer reports 27-year-old Alexander Rafael Grosse was charged Wednesday with felony cruelty to animals in the January 8th death of the dog. A $10,000 emerald has been reported missing from a North Carolina science museum more than 3 weeks after it was last seen. A representative from the Asheville Museum of Science reported the theft on January 24th. You're listening to NCN News.
The Carolina Hurricanes Super Fun Homegrown Series continues Friday, February 23rd, when the Canes host the Pittsburgh Penguins. On this night and this night only, you can indulge in a savory bologna burger, pecan pie, plus beer from Raleigh's own Lone Rider Brewing Company, and you can take home one of only 200 t-shirts specially designed by North Carolina's own Humbly Made. Join the Redvolution and learn more today at hurricanes.com/homegrown. That's hurricanes.com/homegrown.
Have you ever noticed how little things can make a big difference? Think about how good you feel when someone looks you in the eye and smiles. It makes you want to do the same. A smile. A simple word of thanks for a good deed, no matter how small. Passing on the simple expression, "Have a great day." It takes so little time, but it works wonders. In North Carolina, we have always taken pride in being kind. Little things do make a difference. Makes you feel better. Makes everyone around you feel better.
A one-time Teacher of the Year in North Carolina is in big trouble.
48-year-old Michael Kelly is accused of trading pornographic images with several students and taking what court papers term indecent liberties with a 15-year-old boy. Kelly has been fired from his job as a high school science teacher in Wilmington, North Carolina. He was the Teacher of the Year 2 years ago at Isaac Bear Early College. Kelly said at his bail hearing that, quote, he'd done a lot of good work, but made some bad choices.
More options, less price. That was the word on Thursday from Raleigh-Durham International Airport, where officials with the terminal and Frontier Airlines announced an expansion of the carrier's destinations and a cheaper rate. RDU's Christian Van Auken says Frontier is adding nonstop flights between RDU and New Orleans, San Antonio, Houston, Buffalo, Milwaukee, and San Juan.
We are looking now at Frontier Airlines as the second largest carrier at RDU in terms of destinations served. That's a huge deal for us because it allows us to get to these places that people care about most at a price they can afford.
A major retailer will unveil a new clothing collection for women who prefer a more modest look. CBS News correspondent Deborah Rodriguez has more.
Macy's is hoping to boost sales by tapping into the Muslim clothing market. It will debut the Verona collection next week. It'll feature maxi dresses, long tops, hand-dyed hijabs, cardigans, and pants, with prices ranging from around $13 to $85. The brand was created by fashion photographer Lisa Vogel, who says she had difficulty finding modest, fashionable clothing after she converted to Islam 7 years ago. International shipping will be available.
Representative Mickey Michaud, who currently is North Carolina's longest-serving state lawmaker, says he won't seek re-election this fall. The Democrat from Durham first joined the House in 1973. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Today's hits and yesterday's memories, WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, Sherry Preston. All in one night, the federal government shut down and then reopened. ABC's Aaron Katursky has the story on how the early morning budget votes on Capitol Hill.
There was a government shutdown about 5 hours long while you were sleeping.
Is there objection? Mr. President, the senator from Kentucky.
Rand Paul delayed the Senate vote until 1 a.m. to object to hundreds of billions of dollars in spending.
If you were against President Obama's deficits and now you're for the Republican deficits, isn't that the very definition of hypocrisy?
The House vote was equally dramatic.
On this vote, the yeas are 240, the nays are 186. The motion is adopted.
73 Democrats waited until the last minute to vote yes after 67 Republicans voted no. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
In South Korea, fireworks at the opening ceremony at the Winter Olympics. The athletes in the world are parading now. ABC's Alex Stone is there.
It is an historic day here. Overnight, Kim Jong-un's only sister arrived with the North Korean delegation. She is the first member of her family to visit South Korea since the Korean War. Also attending the opening ceremony, Vice President Mike Pence. His guest, Fred Warmbier, the father of American student Otto Warmbier, who died after he was released from a North Korean jail.
In South Korea, it is bitterly cold. Wind chill 14 below across a dozen Midwestern states. The problem is snow, and a lot of it.
Well, I think it's something we're really not ready for, but we're going to have to deal with.
Joseph Bird owns a towing company in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where they might get 10 inches of snow today. Schools in places like Detroit, Chicago, and Milwaukee are all closed. After the resignation of top Trump aide Rob Porter amid allegations he abused his ex-wives, ABC's Alex Stone says major questions linger at the White House.
The unanswered question, how long did Chief of Staff John Kelly know that the man who handled the president's most classified documents had 2 domestic abuse claims against him by 2 former wives?
That's ABC's Andy Field. You're listening to ABC News.
Okay, so where do more Americans turn first in the morning to start their day?
Guimarães' sole custody, but an FBI investigator says the judge never even gave Brand an opportunity to appear in court.
Over 100 people are trapped aboard a ship stuck in ice.
Cheating with the IRS, and one of the very few that has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau will contact the IRS the same day, putting a stop to bank levies and wage garnishments. Call 800-295-1046. That's 800-295-1046.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Have you noticed what Oakland Feed and Seed? Cheapest price in town on propane refills. 20-pound cylinder, $11.99. Forklift cylinder, $17.99. And the 100-pound cylinders, $55.99. Whole corn, $6.99 for the 50-pound bag. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 for the 50-pound bag. 17-17-17, just $12.50 for the 50-pound bag. Check with Oakland Feed and Seed for all prices. You'll find them the cheapest around. It's a generational thing. Your dad and your dad's dad shopped at Oakland Feed and Seed. Oakland Road, Spindale, locally owned and operated.
We're waking up with high pressure still upon us. It's a cold start this morning, but later this afternoon as the high moves out, we'll have mostly sunny skies and it will be milder than yesterday, the high in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight, increasing clouds. Moisture is being drawn in from the Gulf of Mexico. A chance for some light rain by daybreak. Not as cold with lows in the low to mid 40s. Have the rain gear ready on Saturday. We have cloudy skies. We have a good chance for rain. The high temperature in the mid to upper 50s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
We are below the freezer locker stage this morning. We're 30 right now, but we'll be warming up nicely to about 56 with some isolated shower possibilities developing this afternoon and tonight. We have rain in the forecast all the way through next Thursday to some degree. More percentage on like Saturday night, 90%. Valentine's Day looks like it's going to be a 20% chance of rain on Valentine's Day, but rain's in the forecast off and on throughout the rest of the few days. But today, partly cloudy with some isolated showers with the wind only about 7 miles per hour. And right now we are at 30 degrees. We're being kind today to Mary Lou Jackson. She's retired. 86 today, lives over in Forest City. We want to wish her a happy birthday. Now I have these death announcements. Glenn S. Hutchins, age 84 of Rutherfordton, died Sunday at Mission Hospital in Asheville. The funeral service will be 1 o'clock today at McMahon's Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will be at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Service in charge of the arrangements for Glenn S. Hutchins. Charles Richard Downey, age 81 of Rutherfordton, died Saturday at Hospice of the Carolinas Foothills. A memorial service will be held 12 o'clock today in the Rutherford Church of Christ in Rutherfordton. The family will receive friends from 11 until 12 today at the church, and burial will be held at a later date in Ohio. The Padgett King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Charles Richard Downey. Brenda Wood Fox, age 75 of Forest City, died Monday at Hospice of the Carolinas Foothills. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. Family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Brenda Wood Fox. Mr. Robert Bob Fowler, 67 of Ellenboro, died Monday. The funeral will be conducted at 3 o'clock today at Fork Creek Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. The visitation will be from 2 until 3 today at the church prior to the service. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Mr. Robert Bob Fowler. Mr. Gordon Lewis Minor, age 64, passed away Saturday, February 3rd at the Charles George Veterans Administration Medical Center in Nashville. Funeral services will be held 2 p.m. Saturday at Crow's Funeral Home, U.S. Highway 74A, Rutherfordton. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service, and military honors will be provided by the Rutherford County Veterans Honor Guard. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Mr. Gordon Lewis Minor. Laura Jane Baheeler, age 59, of Forest City, died Friday at her residence. A celebration of life service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Saturday at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service has been entrusted with the arrangements for Laura Jane Baheeler. Ray Pittman, age 89, of Rutherfordton, died Tuesday at Holly Springs Senior Citizens Home. The family will receive friends from 12 until 1 o'clock Monday at First Baptist Church. Memorial service will be at First Baptist Church of Rutherfordton at 1 o'clock Monday, February 12th. Burial will be private. Mike Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Service in charge of the arrangements for Ray Pittman. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. You can get the complete information on these and others as they become available to us today at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report. You're listening to the most comprehensive news coverage in the foothills, live and in living color, right here for WCAB in Rutherfordton.
Last weekend, the linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts, Edwin Jackson, 29, was killed along with his Uber driver when Manuel Orrego Zavala, wonder where he's from, plowed into their vehicle. The perp was drunk at the time, they say, was in the country illegally, though he had been deported twice. On Tuesday, President Trump tweeted about it, calling for tougher immigration enforcement and offered prayers and best wishes to Jackson's family. On Wednesday, the driver was charged with 4 felonies, 2 for leaving the scene and 2 more for being intoxicated and causing the deaths of 2 men. Now, after charging the driver, the Marion County prosecutor, a Democrat, went off on Trump. Terry Curry, the prosecutor, said he was disheartened that ghoulish and inappropriate public commentary had politicized the tragedy. Curry claimed the president failed to acknowledge that 2 people lost their lives. Now, what Curry fails to acknowledge is that the tragedy and others like it are political, because one political party, his Democrat Party, gives sanctuary to perps like this, refuses to secure the borders, and gets in the way of people trying to enforce the law. The president has every right to comment on these events. It's appropriate. It's necessary if we're ever going to overcome Democrat obstruction on this.
Hiring is important. People are what make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter makes it simple. One click sends your job ad to over 100 of the web's leading job boards. But ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. Their smart matching technology will instantly alert quality candidates about your job. That means you'll start getting great candidates with the right experience almost as soon as your job is posted. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
People from businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you better results than anywhere else. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From the county seat of Rutherford County to the foothills of the Carolinas, we are 50 years strong and still kicking.
Be the best Valentine for your Valentine. Send in a card to WCAB and be in the drawing for fabulous prizes, including dinner for 2, chauffeured limousine ride to dinner, flowers, jewelry, candy, massages, and much more. Send a Valentine with your name and your sweetheart's name and your phone number. Tell us your favorite love song, and you could be the lucky winner. There'll be several daily drawings with some really nice prizes throughout the week of February the 12th. The preliminary prize winners will still be eligible for the grand prize drawing drawing. The grand prize drawing will be held on Tuesday morning, February the 13th at around 8:45 on the morning show with Jim Bishop. The mailing address is WCAB, Post Office Box 511, Rutherfordton, North Carolina 28139, or you can just bring it to us here at 191 Whiteside Road in Rutherfordton. Now, it must be in our hands no later than 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. Good luck, and stay tuned to see who is the lucky winner.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with the Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Lube Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
Timothy Isaiah Courtwright, also known as Long-Haired Jim, had a reputation of walking on both sides of the law. Back in 1876, he spent 3 years as the city marshal of Fort Worth. Later, he went up to New Mexico and ended up killing a couple of squatters. Jim headed back to Fort Worth and opened the TIC Commercial Detective Agency. But before he could get his business going, extradition papers from New Mexico arrived. Jim was able to escape on his way up to New Mexico, but later he decided to return to New Mexico and face the music, which he did, and the music was sweet. Jim was cleared of all charges. Jim returned to Fort Worth to continue his detective agency. Now, the primary job of his agency was to police the gambling joints, in turn for a piece of the action. Today, that service is called a protection racket. Things went well for Jim until a 5'4" Luke Short bought a 1/3 share in the White Elephant Saloon. Luke refused to pay, and on February 8, 1887, Jim confronted him. Standing belly button to belly button, they were having a heated discussion when Luke started reaching inside his coat. Thinking he was going for his gun, Jim pulled his gun, cocked the hammer, and squeezed the trigger. But they were standing so close that the gun's hammer stuck in Luke Short's pocket watch chain. By now, Luke had drawn his gun, and he emptied it. Long-haired Jim was dead, the result of one of the strangest flukes in Old West history. Incidentally, Luke Short had sold out his share of the White Elephant the day before. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Let's get started now with this Friday morning report here on WCAB and go first to the Sheriff's Department. And we have Deputy Holland on the phone to give us the report. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great. Tell us what's been going on.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has answered 146 calls for service, processed 12 arrests, and currently has 173 confined in the county jail. For incident reports, Kelly Turner from Forest City reported assault and battery. Annie Jackson from Forest City reported identity theft and obtaining property by false pretense. Thomas Krieger of Ballstick reported breaking and entering and felony larceny. Now on to the arrest reports. Hannah Morgan of Ellenboro was arrested for obtaining property by false pretense and misdemeanor larceny. Shay Bennett from Shelby, North Carolina, was served with a show cause. Wendy Jamison of Mooresboro was arrested for communicating threats and harassing phone calls. Marquez Lipscomb of Forest City was arrested for resisting a public officer. Christopher Joyner of Forest City was arrested for trafficking opium, driving while license revoked, and reckless driving. Denzel Wright of Rutherfordton was arrested for carrying a concealed gun, possessing a controlled substance in the jail, and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver a Schedule 6 controlled substance. Donna Militello of Spindale was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Kevin Woody of Marion was arrested for possession of a firearm by felon. And that's all I got for you this morning.
Deputy Holland, thank you so very much for that report, and you be safe out there this weekend.
Thank you, sir. You too.
See ya. Bye-bye. Coin collectors, let me have your attention a moment. Coin collectors, you'll be happy to know that Norm's Coins has received the 2018 Silver Eagles. The 2018 might be looking for. If she doesn't have it in stock, she can get it for you. Coin books and coin supplies are available. Norm's Coins, inside Butler's Jewelry in downtown Forest City, is open Wednesday through Saturday. Get your 2018 Silver Eagles before the supply's all gone. They've got the Silver Eagles and the 2018 Panda Bear coins. Check on those today at Norm's Coins in Forest City. Lindsay is going to give us a report from the Communications Center now. Lindsay, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us what's been going on over there.
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 37 EMS calls, 12 rescue, under law enforcement, 146 Sheriff's Office, 47 Forest City, 4 Lake Lure, 41 Rutherfordton, 65 Spindale. Under fire calls, Forest City had 2 motor vehicle accidents, Hudlow had 2 motor vehicle accidents, SDO had a motor vehicle accident, and also an industrial fire alarm, and that is all.
Thanks so much. You have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
We're being kind to Mary Lou Jackson, who is retired. She's 86 today, lives over in Forest City. So let's make it a good day for Mary Lou Jackson. If you do, give her a call and congratulate her, because she's now the newest member of the WCAB Be Kind to Hall of Fame. And Ruby Taylor has a report for us from Danieltown, the SDO Fire District. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us what's going on over there.
Well, the fire department had 2 calls, and it was a vehicle accident and an industrial fire alarm. And on my birthday calendar today, I've got Mike Street, Johnny Root, and Grayson Blake having birthdays today, and hope they have a nice day. And I don't have any tomorrow. And Sunday, Philip Lucky Doo, Ramona Kenji, and Heather Lovelace having birthdays. And Mr. and Ms. Mike Street's having an anniversary, and hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the thighs today and going to the knees tomorrow, knees today, tomorrow, and going to the knees on Sunday. So that's all I got, Jim.
Thanks very much, Ruby. Enjoy your weekend.
You too, and bye-bye.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of spring air mattresses. Some come with the cool, is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. again. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Homer now has a report for us from Rumling Ball this morning. It's a beautiful day up there so far, huh, Homer?
Yeah, so far it's a little chilly up here. Got quite a bit of frost up here. Kind of surprised me seeing that.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad. It's a pretty morning so far. 35 midnight. Looks like about 30 right now. Got a kind of a heavy frost here. Not a whole lot going on up here this weekend. No groups or activities are going on. Got just a few people staying here. Once again, we're gearing up for the road teams coming in here in a few weeks, trying to make preparations for them. Expecting rain this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, possibly a few thunderstorms on Sunday. So looks like it's going to be a kind of a wet, rainy weekend. Be a good day to stay inside.
Be a good day to stay inside and read a good book, wouldn't it?
That's correct.
Homer, listen, you have a great weekend. Enjoy it, and we'll check back in with you folks next time.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there's some cheers from last night, and there's some tears from last night. UNC beat Duke 82-78. There are some quite a few Duke fans, and there are a whole bunch of Tar Heel fans. And last night they saw or heard Duke lose to Tar Heels 82-78. Now, Saturday, UNC will be taking on NC State, so that should be a nice one. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Now we're stepping up the road here to Hudlow Fire District. Bob Hodge is on the scene up there to give us a first-hand report of what's going on over there. Bob, how you doing?
Oh, doing just fine. It's Friday morning.
Friday morning, thank goodness.
Yeah, we've got a week behind us here, but look like we're going to have a wet weekend.
I know it.
Just have to try to stay dry over the weekend there.
Won't get to do much outside this weekend.
Hey, it don't look like nobody's going to do much outside, yeah.
I still got a bunch of limbs laying in my backyard from last time and can't get out there to get them picked up.
Well, I know it there, but...
if I lay them out there long enough, the dog will chew them all up.
Well, the wind might get up and blow them away in your neighbor's yard or somewhere.
That's right.
Oh. Well, Jim, up here with the fire department, it's been fairly quiet. We've answered a medical call, and then we had a vehicle accident call on 64 in Camp Creek Road. And other than that, things have been pretty quiet overnight. And birthdays for Saturday, Frankie Samuels and Barbara Dunkel. And then for Sunday, Philip Maria and Charles Burgess there. Hope they all have a big birthday weekend. And also, Mount Vernon Community Club is having a country ham and chicken pie supper coming up this Saturday evening. That's 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Adults $9, children $5, 5 and under's free. You'll have country ham, chicken pie, green beans, slaw grits, apple salts, biscuits, homemade desserts, and tea. And Jim, that's about it up here this morning, and you just stay dry over the weekend.
I'm going to do my best to carry a couple of towels around with me because I got to go in and out quite a bit. So maybe I can get some paper towels and keep them handy and dry myself down.
Well, you might have to wear your hip boots or something, man.
That's right. Well, I know it. They're still out. I got a big puddle still in my backyard now from that heavy rain the other day.
Yeah, boy, yeah, from the day before, yes. Yeah, we had that hard rain there, so we still have some over here, too, but it won't be many long. It'll dry out. We'll be wanting some rain.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We just can't be satisfied, can we?
That's right. But, Jim, you take care, and you have a good weekend.
Thanks, Bob. I hope you do, too. And you and I, Jim, have a great one, and I'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye-bye. Well, some of you live close by to a drop-in store. Others of you pass by on the way to wherever you're going. Others of you are close enough that you could go by there because the coffee's hot. It is S&D coffee, and it's 12-ounce size for only 99 cents at drop-in food stores. There's one close by. Also, bologna biscuit for only 99 cents. Pick up 15-pack of Coke for 12-ounce cans, only $3.99. 18-pack of Pepsi, $4.99. 2-liter Pepsi, 3 for $3. Visit Major Lee's Delis for hot wings, pizzas. You get pizzas $9.99. You could choose one or all 10 toppings at no additional charge. Enjoy hot dogs, hamburgers, egg rolls, potato wedges, honey mustard or ranch chicken wraps, chicken strips. You can get them regular or spicy. Now, I'm a regular kind of guy. I don't like much spice on mine, but a lot of you love the spicy. They've got those. And choose from many chicken dinner options. All fresh, never frozen. I like that about the drop-in food store's food. The drop-in, your hometown convenience store since 1981. There's one close to you. Come on. Drop in. You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. Well, Valentine's Day, of course, is next week, next Wednesday. We encourage you to get your Valentine card sent in to us if you want to be in the drawing for the Be My Baby Weekend Valentine Contest. We firmed up the limousine driver. He's set and ready to pick the winners up at their home, take them out to dinner for two, nice dinner for two, and a whole lot of candy, flowers, jewelry, massage. Drawings will be taking place on Monday morning. We have some nice prizes lined up for that as well. So you don't want to miss out on any of that. So get those cards to us. If you want to bring it by, we're located at 191 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton. Just drop it here, and we'll make sure that it gets in the box by Tuesday morning when we'll be drawing right here on the Love Station, WCAB. Now let's head over toward the Cherry Mountain Fire District, and that's where we'll find Sue Price this morning. Sue, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
How are things over in your neighborhood?
Well, they're pretty white out there. It looks like a big frost, so I had 26 degrees. It's cold, but I guess it'll warm up some today, and then we'll get ready for rain. Rain. I was hoping it wouldn't be raining on Valentine's Day. It's hard to make all those deliveries.
Oh, I know, yeah.
But anyway, we just take what comes. We've delivered in rain and snow and whatever.
You're like the Postal Service. The job must go on, right?
That's right. Then a lot of them wait till the last minute to call, so it makes it hard. But anyway, we hope everybody's having a good day today and a good, let's see, I have absolutely no birthdays on any of my calendars for today. Nobody's celebrating over here. No birthdays or anniversaries, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a good day, and they've got a pretty day to enjoy it. And in my announcements, there will be a celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birthday, February 12th at the Lincoln Center in Bostic. There'll be cupcakes served, and there'll be a hill tour leaving at 2 o'clock. So, big day there at the Lincoln Center. And if you haven't toured that, come on out and see what's going on. And so far, that's the only announcement I have. Good to have Todd back. His family's had a rough go with that stuff.
They've just sort of passed it around, I believe, to each other. Yeah, I had to introduce myself to him this morning. I wasn't sure if he remembered who I was.
We've escaped it so far. I hope we don't get it, but it's still around.
I hope you don't either.
Sure, his husband's been sick, and there's just a lot of it around, so you just never know. And you have to get out for some things, doctors and groceries. And it's just, you just never know. But we hope all those that are having it are going to get better and get over it. It's just been a rough Rough time. I don't know. I reckon it's a new strain or something. This vaccine we took doesn't seem to help very much for the people that have it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we hope you'll have a good day today, Jim.
Thanks, so you too, and enjoy your weekend, and stay dry if you can. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's the Cherry Mountain reporter, Sue Price. You know, a lot of your friends, a lot of folks coming into the area will want to know where the locals eat. Well, a lot of your friends tell them locals eat at Gregory's, one of the best places in the county, because everything's fresh, it's served fresh. The wait staff is absolutely fantastic. They meet you and greet you, seat you promptly, and make sure your order's done just right. All the food you order, the burgers, the subs, the grinders, pastas, steaks, prepared to perfection. Like I say, everything's fresh. Why don't you choose Gregory's Original this day for lunch, maybe today or tonight for dinner, or tomorrow night for dinner tomorrow. They close on Saturdays at lunch, and they close on Sundays. But they'll have a great lunch today, and they always have a lunch special. You can check the board as you go in or ask them. Have a soup every day, soup of the day. Soup and a salad would be excellent, maybe a soup and a sandwich. Whatever you choose, it's going to be served well and served promptly and fresh. You'll find Gregory's Original open Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturdays 4 to 9, and closed on Sundays. Park Lane Plaza, Rutherfordton, and Gregory's Original is the host for our Be My Baby Weekend Valentine promotion. They'll be serving nice, quiet candlelight dinner for a couple on Saturday night. Thanks to Gregory's for a great job. Well done. Upstate Union Mills is our destination. We've arrived on time, and here's Brenda Calley to give us the Calley Report. Good morning.
Good morning on this fabulous Friday.
My goodness, you're sounding like your old self again. Your voice is just about strong as ever.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was just telling Todd I've still got some congestion, but I'm hoping that'll soon go away. But every day I'm getting a little bit better, and I just thank the Lord for it. He said, Brenda, I know what you went through.
Yep, he's out about with it himself. So.
Wouldn't wish it on nobody, but there's a lot of it going around, a lot of people sick. We just pray that they'll soon be well, and this mess will be gone from here till the next go round.
Yeah, it'd be nice to not ever have it again, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I say we better enjoy today, hadn't we? It's going to rain after today, ain't it?
It is. You have rain coming here by tonight, possibly about 70% chance. So I would say maybe enjoy the day while you can.
That's right. And that sun's coming up. It's shining in my eyes and blinding me, but it looks good. I'm glad to see it. And it was a beautiful day yesterday. And so you don't like spicy?
I don't like real hot, spicy stuff. No, I like the more mild coatings and sauces like that. Now my son loves the hotter the better.
Well, I'm sort of like that. Of course, I'm part Italian, and they like spicy food. So
yeah.
So I like spicy. Yeah.
I don't like a whole lot of what is that Texas pizza put on it. A lot of people say that's real mild, but I like a little bit of that. But boy, if you get my son there, he'll just pour that stuff all over his.
I've got a son that does that. I'm not so much to put Texas Pete on it as I am to put red peppers and jalapenos and things like that.
Yeah. I don't want any jalapenos on my food. No.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Well,
but everybody's different, and that's what makes the world go round.
But they tell me the jalapenos and those hot peppers, they tell me they're good for you.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. Yeah. But when I make chili beans, I spice it up with the crushed red pepper, and then I do the jalapenos and all that in it.
Yeah. Well, I bet it's good.
Yeah. But usually ain't none of it left. Little man likes it. So
I can tolerate it, and if somebody offered it to me, I could eat it. But I'd rather have it milder.
Mild, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to throw it away because it's hot, but I'd rather.
Yeah. I like both of them, but I like spicy, so that's what makes the world go round.
Absolutely, that's why they.
You eat your mild, and I'll eat my spicy, and together it'll be even.
That's right. Together we'll hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
There you go. Got 24 degrees on the front porch. Anniversary today. Ronnie and Barbara Ashley. Birthday, Peyton Leah Clennard and Anthony Daddle. I don't have anything on around here, so we hope these people have a great old big day on their special day. And I believe it was Bob that said there was a wreck out there at 64 and Camp Creek. That's a bad place. Especially if you're going to turn in there. It's a horseshoe turn. I mean, it's just it's a bad place. But I hope nobody was hurt bad in it.
Several of those bad intersections in the county. They're looking at two of them. One of them was over 6 points. The other one up here at Washburn Store. Those are bad.
Yeah, that and at Washburn Store. That's terrible.
Yeah, they're looking at getting those fixed. So fortunately, they're now finally paying attention to those.
Yeah. I know when I go to church and come back, there's so many roads coming in there, and it's just hard sometimes to get out. So I'm glad they're looking at that over at Washburn Store.
Yep.
Well, let's say we got a birthday breakfast at the Gilkey School Community Center. Starts at 7 a.m. and goes to 10 a.m. and that's Saturday the 10th. Adults is $6, kids 6 to 12 free, 6 and under free. All you can eat. Sausage, bacon, liver mush, gravy and biscuits, and all the trimmings. Proceeds go to help rebuild the old Gilkey School. And then at the Gilkey School Community Center, a concealed handgun safety course. Cost is $50. This will be February the 17th. Starts at 8 a.m. You can call 429-7476 or 429-9075 for more information. Then we got an auction at the White House Community Center, and this is on Painter's Gap Road in Union Mills. Saturday, February the 17th. Doors open at 4 p.m. Auction starts at 6 p.m. Kitchen opens at 4 p.m. They're going to have a barbecue plate, baked beans, and slaw, and that'll be for $5. And you can call 828-625-4502 or 828-545-7161 for more information on that. And other than that, that's all I've got.
All righty, you just going to sit around this weekend?
Yeah, I'm not getting out yet. I'm scared to get out after everything I've been through, and it's going to be pouring down rain. So I think it's best. I believe you said just read a good book, and
there you go.
And or you can read the good book.
There you go. There you go. That's always a winner, isn't it?
That's right. You can find anything in there you want to.
You sure can. You can even be scolded from time to time.
That's exactly right. Sometimes we need to be, don't we?
We do need to be. That's right. We need to be brought back in line again.
That's right.
Well, listen, I hope it goes well for you this weekend and continue to improve, and we will see you next time.
Have a good one. We'll catch you later.
Thanks, Brenda. Brenda Kelly reporting out of upstate Union Mills this morning with our report. And today we are being kind to Mary Lou Jackson of Forest City. She turns 86 today. Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care. Well, when your name's on the business, you know you're going to want to do it right, because everywhere your truck goes, your name goes there, and they do the service, and they want it done right. That's what Hutchins Pest Control does. They do it right. Honest, dependable, and on time. Hutchins Pest Control was voted best in the business 8 years in a row, and they appreciate the confidence you've placed in them. They promise to continue being the best they can be in the pest control business. Honest, dependable, and on time. What more can you ask? Call on them to get your home or your office protected. 287-5171 is the phone number. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control. That number again is 287-5171. Honest, dependable, and on time.
Stop into Save-A-Lot Grocery and save big money every day. Choose from a variety of name brand merchandise at incredible low prices. Save big on fresh meats, vegetables, pastries, frozen foods, deli items, and so much more. They are located in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale. Hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's Save-A-Lot Grocery Store in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale.
Miracle-Ear has been highly recommended by a lot of people. Many of them, your friends, they recognized that something was time to do something about, and so they called Miracle-Ear. 447-7716. All over the world, Miracle Ear is a top-rated company. It's an American-made product, and Lisa Terry is helping a lot of your friends get what they need in terms of hearing aids. If you're noticing symptoms from someone you love, it may be time to turn to Miracle Ear. Talk to your friend or your family member that's isolating themselves because they can't be a part of the conversation, because they can't hear, can't understand. Talk to them about the idea of having a free hearing test. You'll be doing them a favor. And if they like what they see when they meet Lisa and get that free hearing test, and they want to talk further about hearing instruments from Miracle Ear, they'll help you walk through that. Never any pressure, never any heavy selling, just always helping you get your questions answered. That's Miracle Ear. Remembering a hearing loss is more noticeable than a hearing instrument anytime. Call Lisa at Miracle Ear, 447-7716. All right, now we're going over to Ellenboro, North Carolina. And Luther Gilligan is on the phone to give us an update of the news.
Okay, I'm watching the sun coming up through the trees.
Is it beautiful?
It's looking nice. It's going to warm up this cold air we have a little bit.
That's great. I can't see it from where my vantage point is, but I can see it sort of lightening up out there a lot. It's going to get up to about 56. That's pretty comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. If it gets up 56, we'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. But we'll be outside. We'll be outside all day. But we're going to have a good time. We're going to have to play in the mud. There's not a whole lot going on there. Things are quiet. It's more about just trying to get in and get that last day of this week put in. Waiting on the weekend to get here to decide what we're going to do. Sit and watch the rain, I guess, probably. But let's see, part of the may have one motorist assist call. Other than that, they've been quiet. Nothing going on. More we have birthday day. Chad Steed, he's having one. And Tucker Morrison there, he's having a birthday today. So hope these two men have a great day and enjoy their day. Jim, nothing else going on down here. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you Monday.
Thanks, Luther. Have a great day.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye. And it's birthday time and anniversary time for this 9th day of the month, 9th day of February, birthdays and anniversaries. And we'll give away some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's here in just a few moments. Those that are called in will be in their names will be in the drawing for that. So if you're celebrating, call now at 287-3356. That's 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up next.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our
McCurry Deck GMC.
We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up here in just a few moments, but let me remind you that Southern Carpet is your answer to those beautiful Tarkett flooring. They know kids make a mess. They know dogs track in mud. They know humans track in mud. And they carry floors that stand up to the day-to-day rituals. Floors like Tarkett flooring. They can brag about that. If you got them in your home, you can brag about it because it's beautiful. They're long-lasting. And right now you can find out more about this fabulous floor at Southern Carpet. Find some excellent pricing right now. Just ask all the questions you want to ask about floors and ask about this Tarkett flooring for sure. Tarkett. Tarkett flooring. Hurry and take advantage of these great deals and check on the excellent selection of Tarkett flooring at Southern Carpet. 1512 West Main Street, and visit them on web at southerncarpet.net. Across the road here, they're ready for you. They've got the gate open about 15, 20 minutes ago, and they're offering home delivery now. Just ask for details. They have that available for you, and they have propane good. Come and get your tanks filled. Propane grill tanks, 20 pounds, only $10.99. Cedar shaving, $6.99. If you got some erosion problems going on at your place with all the rain, they got something to fix that. And why don't you ask about all of that? They have large quantities of square and round bales of hay and straw. And you get those volume discounts. Just ask George about that. Selling Victor dog food now. 3 cubic feet pine bagged mulch, $3.99 a bag. 20% off on all dog beds. Much more awaiting you if you'll just go check it out at Farmer's Friend Feed Seed & Supply. 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherford. Right across the road here from WCAB. The phone number is 287-3272. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy birthday to Mary Lou Jackson of Forest City. Mary Lou is retired, turns 86 today. Want to wish her happy. Sharon Date is also celebrating a birthday today. And Adrian Heron, she's 10 years old, goes to Sunshine School. Cameron Johnson is 8 years old, goes to Rutherfordton Elementary School. So I want to wish those folks a happy birthday. Also, Ronnie and Barbara Atchley's anniversary. Peyton Lee Clenard, or Clenard maybe it is. Anthony Dowdle, also celebrating a birthday. Now, I believe that's all's been called in this morning, and so we have enough to have a drawing and give away some donuts from Granny B's, and that's coming right up.
In Leadership magazine, Mark Tidd of Webster, New York, describes an experience from his college days. An old man showed up at the back door of the house we were renting. Opening the door a few inches, we saw his eyes were glassy and his furrowed face glistened with silver stubble. He bid us good morning and offered his produce for sale. We were uneasy enough that we made a quick purchase to alleviate both our pity and our fear. To our chagrin, he returned the next week, introducing himself as Mr. Roth, a man who lived in the shack down the road. As our fears subsided, we got close enough to realize it wasn't alcohol but cataracts that marbleized his eyes. On subsequent visits, he would shuffle in wearing 2 mismatched right shoes and pull out a harmonica. He'd puff out old gospel tunes between conversations about vegetables and religion. On one visit, he exclaimed, "The Lord is so good. I came out of my shack this morning and found a bag full of shoes and clothing on my porch. That's wonderful, Mr. Roth," we said. "We're happy for you." You know what's even more wonderful, he asked? Just yesterday, I met some people that could really use them. Mr. Roth had learned to give thanks in all circumstances, even when to others those circumstances looked bad. Why not take time this week to look around you and then truly give thanks? This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living. Why not visit our webpage at bwb.net/keys?
Congratulations to Adrian Heron, I believe it is. Adrian Heron, 10 years old, student at Sunshine School, just won the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Now stand by for the third hour. We got news from here and there coming up. At 8:30 this morning, Word of Faith Speaks Out continues here on WCAB, answering questions and answering accusations has been made against them over the years. They're now talking about those accusations and telling their side of the story. That's 8:30 this morning.
Only you can make all this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do and fill my heart with love for only you. Only you can I make all this change in me. For it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I'll understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Lawmakers this morning in the House followed the Senate and approved a budget deal to end the government shutdown that began at midnight. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul forced the shutdown. CBS News Chief Congressional Correspondent Nancy Cordes explains.
This is not one of those shutdowns that everyone saw coming. There was not some big partisan standoff. The bill was expected to pass in the Senate and the House. Instead, what happened was that one senator, Rand Paul of Kentucky, took advantage of the last-minute nature of this deal to essentially hold up the works.
4 people have been arrested in the deaths of a man and woman whose bodies were found in a Robeson County field. The 4 were arrested after deputies executed search warrants at 3 homes east of Lumberton. It's still dry in parts of North Carolina despite recent rains, especially in the central portion of the state. Corey Davis is a state climatologist and tells SFNtoday.com.
We have seen, since we've gotten into the winter, a little bit drier conditions further west. But again, with the pretty active weather pattern we're in now, where we're seeing regular rainfall every few days, we're going to keep making improvements, I think, in terms of drought conditions across the state.
Administration officials tell CBS News that the senior staff mishandled the response to allegations of abuse by 2 ex-wives against Rob Porter, who had been a White House staff secretary, a top aide to President Trump. More from CBS's Juliana Goldman at the White House.
We saw a rare display of contrition from this White House yesterday. Officials originally said that Porter would not be leaving immediately, but yesterday he did clean out his office, and now questions about who knew what and when remain, and whether anyone else will be held accountable is another matter.
Representative Mickey Michaud, who currently is North Carolina's longest-serving state legislator, says he won't seek re-election this fall. The 87-year-old is from Durham. You're listening to NCN News.
I'm Patrick Johnson with this week's Undaunted ECU Spotlight. It shines on men's track and field athlete Tamarick Bolden from Hyde Trask Senior High School. The junior has served as a key member on relays, including 5 first-place finishes. Off the track, he's a leader for his team, serving as a representative on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee with nearly 20 hours of community service this year. ECU celebrates Tamarick Bolden of Rocky Point and all of our undaunted student athletes. For the latest on ECU athletics, visit ECUPirates.com.
A Democrat in the governor's mansion, an unconventional Republican in the White House, new state, House, and Senate election maps, all important factors for politics and public policy in North Carolina. What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers, available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
A South Lenoir High School student died following being shot in the head this week. Jessica Ramsey died on Wednesday. Lenoir County School spokesman Patrick Holmes tells WITN News.
We have 4 counselors. South Lenoir, we have 2 that are on staff there. We have the social worker who is assigned to that school, and then we have a counselor from the middle school who's come over to assist.
Funeral plans for Jessica have not been announced. Mortgage rates are inching up again. What does this mean for home buyers? CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks explains.
It's getting even more expensive to buy a home. Freddie Mac reports that mortgage rates have risen to their highest levels since the end of 2016. 30-year fixed mortgages soared 10 basis points higher to 4.32%. A year ago, 30-year fixed loans averaged 4.17%. That's going to make it tougher on potential home buyers already dealing with record high home prices due to tight supplies in the market.
The chairman of the Pitt County Board of Education has announced that she will run for a state government seat in the 2018 elections. Mildred Council says she'll run as a Democrat and hopes to fill the District 8 House seat. Council tells WITN News.
I have a strong foundation already, having served the community at the local level, and this just takes me to a new level, and now hopefully I can do more with the people's support.
Just in time for Valentine's Day, CBS News' Diane King Hall reports what's being described as the largest and most perfect white diamond on sale.
Sotheby's in London says the 102.34 carat stone is expected to sell for over $33 million. The gem was mined in Botswana. It's the only known round, brilliant cut diamond over 100 carats that's perfect in every critical criteria.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB sales department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, Alex Stone in Pyeongchang, South Korea, where the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics is coming to an end. The sound of fireworks filling the skies and reflecting off the snow on the mountains. The Olympics are officially underway. Randia Allen is here from Los Angeles. You seem pretty excited.
Yeah, it's my first everything. The first time in Asia, period. The first time in Korea, first Olympics.
A short time ago, Team USA marched in, led by flag bearer Aaron Hamlin, a 4-time Olympian. Also North and South Korea arriving as one combined team in line with the theme of the opening ceremony. That theme is peace. Earlier today, Vice President Mike Pence, who is here, met with North Korean defectors, telling them he's inspired by their stories.
The United States and Japan will continue to confront the most dangerous threat in the Indo-Pacific, the rogue regime in North Korea.
The stadium here, a sea of light. The first medals will be awarded later today, U.S. time. I'm Alex Stone in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Now with more news, here's Sherry Preston.
Lawmakers in Washington were at it pretty much all night. They were wrangling over the budget on Capitol Hill, a shutdown that started at midnight, ended a few hours later with a vote in the House. ABC's Karen Travers with more.
The funding bill passed overnight by the House and Senate now heads to President Trump for his signature. Even though funding lapsed at midnight and the government technically shut down, it's expected that government services and operations will largely continue uninterrupted, and hundreds of thousands of federal workers will show up for work.
Questions at the White House about one Chief of Staff John Kelly knew about allegations that a top aide had abused both of his ex-wives. White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter has resigned. He, however, denies the allegations. Some Democrats are also raising questions about Porter's security clearance at the White House. An hour and a half before the opening bell, Wall Street futures are pointing toward a higher open. This comes after the Dow dropped over 1,000 points by yesterday's close. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or more importantly, if you sign up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing program that's been around for 25 years, and they have hundreds of thousands of members all across the country. And get this, over the years, MediShare members have shared more than $1 billion of each other's medical bills. Best of all, you could save a lot of money with MediShare. The typical savings for a family is about $500 a month. Your savings could be more or less, but think about what you could do with that extra money. Think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have a lot to offer? Think again. You can join MediShare anytime, so call them today and check it out. Here's the number to find out more, and there's no pressure. They're super easy to talk to. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
A big winter storm is dumping snow across a large part of the Midwest. ABC's Alex Perez is in Chicago.
The snow is falling here. We are in the middle of this storm right now, and getting around anywhere today is going to be a huge pain. Already this morning, more than 1,000 flights canceled, more than 700 of those flights right here at Chicago's airports alone. Airlines waiving rebooking fees for passengers impacted by the storm.
Schools in cities like Chicago, Detroit, and Milwaukee are all closed today. Anger at a high school in Grand Rapids, Michigan, after a white student wore blackface to class. Dan Bem is a superintendent there. He says he thinks it was a joke. However,
students, community members, families feel the harm and feel the exclusion, and this dredges up a terrible history of our country. And we need to acknowledge that. And we need to take steps.
He says teachers have already spoken to students. The former Navy SEAL who killed Osama bin Laden says he hates the idea of a military parade through Washington. In a tweet, Robert James O'Neill used a word we can't say on the radio to talk about the parade, and then he wrote, "We prepare, we deter, we fight. Stop this conversation." In Aspen, Colorado, it looks like a lot of people are buying more pot than booze. The Aspen Times says sales at legal marijuana shops beat liquor stores by about $1 million. It's the first time that's ever happened there. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Sherry Preston, ABC.
You're really missing out if you haven't tried the delicious food at Jesse James Railroad Express. Check out the burgers, clubs, hot dogs, fresh salads, taco salads, chicken and tuna salad plates, and of course, delicious Davis donuts and hand-dipped ice cream. They offer a terrific breakfast with made-to-order fresh just for you. They're open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Call out orders at 447-4644. Jesse James Railroad Express, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. Railroad Express has received an award for the best coffee shop and the best hamburgers and hot dogs. And mention this ad and get a regular hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, only 99 cents, Mondays only.
We're waking up with high pressure still upon us. It's a cold start this morning, but later this afternoon as the high moves out, we'll have mostly sunny skies and it will be milder than yesterday, the high in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight, increasing clouds. Moisture is being drawn in from the Gulf of Mexico. A chance for some light rain by daybreak. Not as cold with lows in the low to mid 40s. Have the rain gear ready on Saturday. We have cloudy skies. We have a good chance for rain. The high temperature in the mid to upper 50s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And we are still in the freezer locker this morning. We're at 30 degrees, but it should be warming up nicely to about 56 here in the foothills. Well, the rain should begin later this evening, early part of the evening, late this afternoon, early part of the evening. And it's going to be with us pretty much all the way through Thursday of next week. Heavier at times than other times. Rain tonight, 70%. Saturday, looks like an 80% chance. 90% Saturday night, and Sunday, 90%. Sunday night, 70%. Monday, 50%. And then on Tuesday, looks like a 50% chance. On Valentine's Day, only a 20% chance of precipitation. So maybe that'll lighten up a little bit for the Sweetheart Day, right? Then on Thursday, February the 15th, partly cloudy with scattered showers, highs around 64. Right now, again, 30 degrees, and we're looking at the third hour of the morning wake-up call here on WCAB. My name's Bishop. Jim Bishop. Valentine's are coming in next Tuesday, the 13th. We'll be having a drawing for the Be My Baby Valentine promotion, and we're going to take the folks who win, the couple who wins the prize out on Saturday night to Gregory's chauffeured limousine ride from your home to Gregory's, back to your home. Gregory is always gracious enough to set up a nice place for you to enjoy your meal, your choice of the meal. And then a lot of other great prizes will be given to you. We have certificates for you to claim those prizes, including some beautiful jewelry We've got beautiful flowers, candy, massages. What else? Don't have that list in front of me. But also Monday morning, during this hour, we will be drawing for some preliminary ones. We got a bunch of prizes to give away from a random drawing. And then if you win the random prize, then you'll go back into the box for the grand prize. So don't worry about if you, of course, you don't have to worry about the preliminary prize because they're nice too. They're nice meals and flowers there as well as jewelry and a whole bunch of good things. So it's really worked out really well for the nice Be My Baby because we love you and we're the love station. So we want you to be a part of that. If you hadn't got your card to us, be sure to bring it by. Had someone bring one by this morning, and you can do that as well. Get it in the mail today. There's a chance we might get it on Monday, and there's a chance we won't. But it has to be in our hands by 8 o'clock on the 13th in order to be eligible in the might miss the mail there if you're not careful. So just make sure you know exactly the time that you mail it out. I'll bring you by here at 191 Whiteside Road. That works out really well, too. 9 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock, some stories coming up here from here and there in just a moment.
Another question for the Tax Fact Street Team.
Hey, IRS, is the fire we had in our kitchen a deductible loss?
I'll tell you after this.
New tax laws cause many taxpayers to lose hundreds or even thousands of dollars in refunds because they or their preparer did not know the changes, and the IRS likes it that way. But there is help available. At Central Tax Service, they will get you the biggest and fastest refund allowed by the IRS, guaranteed. Do yourself and not the government a favor. Go see Roger Jolly at Central Tax Service at 542 Oak Street in Forest City or call them at 245-0557. With a bigger and faster refund, you will be glad you did.
Losses in property value from unexpected events like hurricanes, fires, and floods are deductible. Even losses due to theft can qualify. Victims in federal disaster areas might even get a faster refund.
Questions? Go to irs.gov.
Customer appreciation sale going on right now through February the 17th at Dragonfly Marketplace, North Washington Street, Rutherford. Beautiful handcrafted jewelry, furniture, vintage items, antique pieces, collectibles, unique wall decor, framed art, and a clothing line. All merchandise is made by local artists. Stop in now for customer appreciation sale through February the 17th. Sign up for door prizes given away every Saturday and receive an additional 10% off your total purchase. Open Tuesday through Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 4. Phone them at 429-2640. Dragonfly Vendor Marketplace, North Washington Street, Rutherford.
Hey, listen, coin collectors, you'll be happy to know that Norm's Coins has received the 2018 Silver Eagles. You've been waiting some of those, waiting to get Norm's Coins. The 2018 Panda Bear coins are also in, and all proof sets from 1955 and up. These make great birthday gifts for folks who are born on certain dates. Those proof sets are really nice to give. They make great gifts for birthdays or anniversaries or whatever the case you want to give one. Betty's got them there. Betty's staying on top of the coin market and can assist you with anything you might be looking for. If she doesn't have it in stock, she can get it for you. Coin books available. Coin supplies are available. The plastic containers that you put your coins in, she's got plenty of those. Norm's Coins inside Butler's Jewelry in downtown Forest City is open Wednesday through Saturday. Get your 2018 Silver Eagles before the supplies all gone at Norm's Coins. Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Ken Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherford. Again, that's 287-3338. Some stories from here and there this morning. Daily Courier is reporting about the jury returning a not guilty verdict in the Edgerton case. Jury found a Lake Lure man not guilty of habitual larceny and habitual felon Wednesday. The majority of 45-year-old Lamont Edgerton's trial took place Tuesday and included witnesses from both sides. The State versus Jessica Nicole Lane also took place Wednesday. The 33-year-old from Spindale was charged with resisting an officer. Lane chose to withdraw her appeal, bringing into effect her district court judgment. She received a sentence of 45 days, which was suspended for 12 months supervised probation. Thursday saw the beginning of the trial of Christopher Adam Martin, who is charged with breaking and entering. Jury selection took up the majority of the morning, and the case continued into the afternoon, with the jury likely to produce a verdict late in the day. Martin's case will be the last in a week-long Superior Court trial term in the Rutherford County court system, presided over by Judge Mark Powell. Meanwhile, the North Carolina DOT is looking at a couple of crossings that under review, dangerous crossings. Improvements expected this year in both of them. The one there at Washburn Store, which has been a dangerous crossing for some time, they're looking at that. And the 6 Point crossing, because the cost of the 6 Point project will exceed $250,000. A resolution of support was required from county commissioners. DOT District Engineer Chris Guffey said it. Commissioners endorsed the project unanimously. And the Bossick Sunshine intersection scored well, Guffey said. So they're looking at both of them in much need of repair or put into place some safety precautions because those intersections are bad. Meanwhile, a woman reported missing in McDowell County has been found unharmed over in Lincoln County. We had this report on her yesterday where she was missing. She's now been found unharmed in Lincoln County. According to the Sheriff's Office, Renee Musso Austin of Marin, who was last seen February the 2nd, was located Thursday. Austin's mother reported her missing February 3rd, but she's okay. Don't know yet why she was missing, and well, she didn't report in, but she was there. They found her. The flu season still seems to be rampant, running. A lot of folks of you have had it or had it in your family, and it seems to be making a circle in the family. Well, there are 34 new flu deaths reported in North Carolina, 140 for the season. North Carolina health officials had 34 new flu deaths were reported this week, with a total number of deaths coming to 140 for the flu season. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services said Thursday that one of the deaths for the week ended February 3rd was identified as a pediatric death, specifically someone between the ages of 5 and 17. That person wasn't identified, nor was the location of that death. The total marks the highest one-week figure since flu season began last October. For the season, there have been 140 flu-related deaths in the state, with 108 of them occurring in the last 4 weeks. The current total is more than halfway to the mark of 218 deaths in the 2016-17 flu season. We've had some even right here in the county. We hope you're all taking better care of yourself. I don't know what else to do other than to encourage everybody to keep some antiseptic hand wash close by, and every time you touch anything, wash your hands with that. Sneeze and cough in your elbow, in your sleeve there, without coughing in your hands, and shaking hands with people, touching doorknobs, and even remote controls in motels and places and doctor's offices. Just be as cautious and overprotective as you can. Perhaps that'll help you. Well, up in Asheville, museum officials say a large emerald has gone missing from their collection. The Asheville Museum of Science says an emerald specimen from their gem and mineral collection with immeasurable historical significance has been stolen. The museum says they have filed a report with the Asheville PD and that there was no break-in. They say nothing else was taken from their collection, only this emerald. One of the challenges for any museum is the tension between securing works of value while also making sure they're available for the public to enjoy. This incident underscores that, and they're working on further measures to increase security in order to ensure the collection remain intact for the benefit of visitors and preservation of the collection for years to come, said the museum in a statement. How many of you have driven across that Blue Ridge Parkway road that extends out over the forest there? Beautiful, beautiful setting. The iconic Lynn Cove Viaduct that wraps around Grandfather Mountain on the Blue Ridge Parkway will close for 3 months of road resurfacing and bridge repairs. Thank goodness. I'm glad they do that. I'm glad they look after that and repair anything they see, because that one is just out there, buddy. One of the Parkway's most popular tourist draws, the 7-mile stretch, is scheduled to close March 1st and reopen by Memorial Day weekend. The viaduct is 18 miles southwest of Blowing Rock and about 105 miles northwest of Charlotte. Crews will remove and replace the asphalt pavement, waterproofing membranes and joints on the bridge. They will repair the supporting structure, stone curb, railing, and drainage features, according to the Asheville Citizen, and it was a major doing of getting repaired, working out there, strung out in space, basically, putting it together. So if you've ever been there, seen that, you'll understand that. I had the privilege of helping dedicate that or open that as a ribbon cutting the day it opened. The Republican Lieutenant Governor Association announced yesterday or this week that North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest will serve as chairman for 2018. North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest named chairman of the Republican Lieutenant Governors Association for 2018. First elected in 2012, Lieutenant Governor Forest is only the second Republican elected lieutenant governor in the state of North Carolina since 1897 and the first Republican ever to be reelected to the position. In 2016, Forest easily defeated his Democrat opponent by over 300,000 votes, gaining more votes than both presidential and gubernatorial candidates. Lieutenant Governor Dan released a statement saying how proud he was to be served and honored to be named chairman of the Republican Lieutenant Governors Association. So congratulations to our own Lieutenant Governor. 20 minutes after 8 o'clock here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. The Sheriff's Report coming up here in just a few minutes.
There are plenty of drugstores in our area, but not all of them show the personal service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team understand your need for prompt and accurate service with minimal wait times. The Medicine Box offers synchronization. This allows you to get all your meds filled at the same time, avoiding extra trips to the drugstore. And ask Laura about dose packaging, a free service offered by the Medicine Box. This ensures you take the right meds, the right dose, at the right time each day. That's the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton on Charlotte Road in the Napa Building. Shop Jay's Discount Grocery for your grocery needs and save big money. Incredible savings on everything in the store. Famous name brands arriving daily at a fraction of the cost. Fresh fruits and vegetables on Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Jay's has delicious steaks, pork chops, roast, cut fresh daily. Open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 8, closed on Sundays. EBT and debit cards are welcome. And don't forget to check out Jay's on Facebook for daily specials. Located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City behind the Hospice Resale Shop. Call 828-382-0457. Shop Jay's and walk out with a pocket full of savings.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and net tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
Deputy Holland was on the radio with us via telephone this morning to give us a report from the Sheriff's Department. We recorded it for broadcast at this time. Now here is Deputy Holland.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has answered 146 calls for service, processed 12 arrests, and currently has 173 confined in the county jail. For incident reports, Kelly Turner from Forest City reported assault and battery. Annie Jackson from Forest City reported identity theft and obtaining property by false pretense. Thomas Krieger of Ballstick reported breaking and entering and felony larceny. On to the arrest reports. Hannah Morgan of Ellenboro was arrested for obtaining property by false pretense and misdemeanor larceny. Shay Bennett from Shelby, North Carolina, was served with a show cause. Wendy Jamison of Mooresboro was arrested for communicating threats and harassing phone calls. Marquez Lipscomb of Forest City was arrested for resisting a public officer. Christopher Joyner of Forest City was arrested for trafficking opium, driving while license revoked, and reckless driving. Denzel Wright of Rutherfordton was arrested for carrying a concealed gun, possessing a controlled substance in the jail, and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver a Schedule 6 controlled substance. Donna Militello of Spindale was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Kevin Woody of Marion was arrested for possession of a firearm by a felon. And that's all I got for you this morning.
More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com.
This is Pam with the Home Medical Department at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. We carry several products for CPAP therapy that includes wipes, distilled gallons of water, a CPAP hose cleaning tool, a CPAP pillow, and of course the regular supplies of masks, filters, and other maintenance products. Come in or call us for any of your CPAP needs. Thank you and have a Happy New Year from all of us at Smith's Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street, 245-4591.
Friends don't let friends tune to any other radio station. Good friends recommend AM 59. Shouldn't you be a good friend?
Zach, version 246 of the Tobacco Road rivalry was played last night in Chapel Hill between Duke and Carolina, and it was a masterpiece. The number 21 Tar Heels rallied from a dozen down in the first half to beat number 9 Duke 82-78. Down by 5 at the half, the Tar Heels opened the second on a 16-2 run to erase what was left of Duke's lead. Roy Williams talked about the adjustments they made during the mid-game break.
At halftime, we talked about defending, rebounding, and playing with a great deal of effort. Junk like that, because I've got to talk about something at halftime. But I just think, except for that stretch of about 5 or 6 minutes where we didn't score, I thought in the second half we were really good.
Carolina won their second straight in handing Duke their second straight loss.
The first half, I thought we played a little bit better than they did, and the start of the second half, they played great, and we were awful. Even after calling a timeout, we were not good.
Duke began the season as the number 1 ranked team. Now, the number 9 Blue Devils have lost 3 in their last 4. Up next for the Heels, another rivalry match. They'll be in Raleigh on Saturday to face NC State, while Duke travels to Georgia Tech on Sunday. Other North Carolina college hoops programs in action last night. Western Carolina topped VMI. Louisiana Tech beat Charlotte, and Hofstra edged Elon. UNC Wilmington was scheduled to play James Madison, but that game was postponed due to suspected cases of mumps affecting the Dukes. JMU Athletics also postponed Saturday night's game at Elon. The games will be rescheduled, but dates have not yet been set. Olympic teams from North and South Korea marching together this morning under one flag at the opening ceremonies of the Winter Games in Pyeongchang.
The athletes looked joyful as they were marching around the stadium track. They were waving flags, this neutral flag that's being used for at least this moment. It seemed that tensions had been reduced between the North and the South. Steve Futterman, CBS News at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang.
This is NCN Sports.
If you know the symptoms and get the facts, you'll know the signs of a heart attack. Women, listen to me, and when I'm done, if it sounds familiar, call 911. Pain in your neck, chest, arms, or jaw, shortness of breath, please tell us more. Cold sweats and nausea, tiredness, it's time to take it serious. Back pain, stomach pain, shortness of breath, cold sweats, nausea, dizziness. If you know the symptoms and heed the signs, you'll be around for a long, long time. Women, listen to me, and when I'm done, if any sound familiar, call 911.
Learn a song that could save your life. Get a free download at womenshealth.gov/heart attack.
Women, listen to me, and when I'm done, if any sound familiar, call 911. If it ain't sound familiar, call 911.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Exclude Russian athletes from the games if the IOC officials weren't sure they were clean, even if they hadn't been banned for doping. The games will still include 168 Russians who have been invited as Olympic athletes from Russia to compete in neutral uniforms under the Olympic flag. Jimmy Garoppolo has signed a record-breaking 5-year contract with the San Francisco 49ers. He'll earn a reported $137.5 million. San Francisco acquired Garoppolo from New England before the trade deadline for a 2018 second-round pick. The Niners were 1-10 and in contention for the number 1 pick overall in the draft until he led them to a season-ending 5-game win streak. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We're waking up with high pressure still upon us. It's a cold start this morning, but later this afternoon as the high moves out, we'll have mostly sunny skies and it will be milder than yesterday, the high in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight, increasing clouds. Moisture is being drawn in from the Gulf of Mexico. A chance for some light rain by daybreak. Not as cold with lows in the low to mid 40s. Have the rain gear ready on Saturday. We have cloudy skies. We have a good chance for rain. The high temperature in the mid to upper 50s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And we are still in the freezer locker this morning at 30 degrees, warming up though to 56 with some partly cloudy conditions. But the rain starts coming in tonight with a 70% chance of it, and the rain's going to be with us throughout the weekend, all the way through next week, as a matter of fact. And looking into Sunday, partly cloudy with showers, highs around 67 and a 90% chance of showers. Valentine's Day looks like it's going to be partly cloudy with isolated showers, highs around 64, but only a 20% chance of showers. Again, right now, it's cloudy and 30 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherfordton. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning again, and welcome to Word of Faith Responds. Thank you so much for tuning in with us this morning. We have been going through for several days now the prison ministry that we have at our church, Word of Faith Fellowship, and you have been hearing from people who have been in prison and participated with our prison ministry in different capacities. Some of them went to the church services on the prison side, and others have participated in the sponsorship program. And you've been hearing about these people who, when they were released from prison, they joined our church, and one after the other have testified to what God has done in their lives and how God has completely changed their lives. And today we have Vince with us, and Vince actually was released from prison in 2009. He was at some point during his prison term of 6 years was here at the Rutherford Correctional Center, and it was then that we met Vince, some of the men in our church who do the prison ministry, and Vince actually was the first person who participated in the church sponsorship program that we had at the Word of Faith Fellowship. And that church sponsorship program is basically where churches in the county can come and pick up an inmate who qualifies and bring them to church for different functions so many times per week. And so Vince actually was the very first one, and he was released from prison in 2009 and joined our church. He has been there ever since then, and Vince has been a good friend of mine, and God has done so much in his life. So Vince wanted to come and share with you the wonderful things that God has done in his life. So let's listen to what Vince has to say.
Good morning, everyone. And Mark, I stand amazed this morning as I woke up and got out of bed. The song I had in my heart was, I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus Christ the Nazarene, who loved a sinner condemned unclean. And I know I'm so grateful this morning that I could leave my home and stop at McDonald's and have a sandwich as a free man. And God has been so good to me. And to be able to share with the community of God's miracle working power, to be a free man, a man that's healed from cancer, and to have the friends that I have in this community that God gave me. And I'm just so grateful to be able to share about my life this morning with you and what God has done for me. I'll begin with, I was born in Burke County in Morganton, and I was born to a family who was a church-going family on both sides of my family. My grandfather was actually born over probably in Rutherford County years ago and moved to Morganton. And he used to teach the old shape note music in church. And then my other grandfather, he was the song leader for over 30-some years in the church, never missed a Sunday. So when I was born to my mother and father, I went to the Wesleyan Church. And from the time I left the hospital on Sunday, Wednesday, faithfully, and my dad would always come in and pray with me at night before he put me to bed and read the Bible to me. And that's one thing I always remembered about my father. So at about 5 years old, my life abruptly changed when my mother and my father were separated because my mother decided to have another relationship. And at that time, my dad did not know it. He was at home taking care of me and my younger brother. And unfortunately, my life changed at that point. And the new man that my mother had wasn't the same as my dad. And he was a person who drank and he cursed, and that was something I was not used to. And I was very angry with my mother because all of a sudden my dad is no longer coming in and reading the Bible and praying with me. And that was something I felt really loved in the presence of God. And then all of a sudden this totally changed my life. And the hurt that I felt was so great, I couldn't describe it. I found myself staying with babysitters who drank and done drugs, and I knew that it was totally different from what I had been living. And when I would go stay with my grandparents, I had so much peace. My grandfather always would guard us. If we would start to watch something on TV, if it was a beer commercial or something come on, he would turn the TV off because he didn't want to have nothing to do with alcohol or anything that reminded him of his past, of before God had changed his life. And he wanted us to serve God with all his heart. You know, he wanted us to serve God. So things were different for me and my brother. And then as I got older, about 11 or 12, I was in about 5th grade. I began to go and travel in NASCAR with my schoolmate, whose dad was also was a timekeeper for Dave Marcus. So I began to learn how to be a timekeeper at a 12-year-old. I mean, 13. That's hard to amaze today that would happen. But God got to my heart that wasn't what He wanted for my life. And I began to lay it on my bed at 13 and say, Jesus, make me righteous. I want to be righteous. And I'd say my prayers every night, just like my dad would pray with me. And I wanted to be saved. And so I talked to my youth leader, and I said, I would like to be saved. I want to be saved at our youth meeting, our next youth rally. She said, well, honey, you can be saved now. You just need to give your heart to Jesus. And she went and got the pastor, and he began to talk to him and asked me about, did I know why Jesus died? And I told him I did. And I prayed and asked Jesus to come in my heart. And I had so much peace because I knew I meant it sincerely. And then I began to carry my Bible to school because I wanted to tell other people about Jesus. And before long, I just grew stronger and stronger and had a greater desire just to serve God. And I started going to church with my dad at the Baptist church. And when I started going to the Baptist church, they had a ministry and a bus ministry. So I started working in the community with children and bringing children to church. And I had my own bus route. I had everything from about 20 to 40 children Sunday that I would bring to church. And that was my greatest ambition, to be able to reach to other children that didn't have somebody to take them to church, and that come from a background that maybe there was drinking and problems. So I knew I was doing the work of God. Well, I had a young lady I met at my church at that time that my dad said, I feel like would be a good friend for you.
Were you out of high school at this point?
I was.
Okay.
I had just graduated, and I was like 19, and I began to preach in church with a good friend of mine, Bobby Carter. And Bobby and I used to get up and preach together. We were teenagers and used to go visitation and go door to door and just want to tell people about Jesus. And that was the greatest thing, to have a friend like Bobby at that time. He was more mature, and I could tell you loved me and cared about me, and had him in my life. So I started the bus ministry, and I met the young girl at that time that was involved in the bus ministry. But little did I know at that same time the pastor was going through separation, was pursuing a relationship with the same young girl that I had become friends with. And so it was devastating to me. I continued to stay at that church, and I wanted to serve God with all my heart. And what happened was, they got married, and I felt like just going to Bible college. I no longer want to be there. And when I went to Bible college, I became active at that time in the Rock of Ages prison ministry. And God had gave me a verse out of Isaiah that he'd call me to be a witness to the prisoners, to bring them out into the light. And I knew that God put that in my heart as I went to different prisons, Missouri and Louisiana, Florida. And some of the prisons I went to were very hard and cold, and men who had life sentences. And they said, why are you here? Why do you want to come here? You're young. Ain't there other things that you want to do? And I said, I just want to come tell you that Jesus loves you. And that meant so much to them. And little did I know that my life would change before long, and I would be one of them. So at that point, I went to Bible college. My teacher recommended that I go to a church in Calvary Free Will Baptist in Valdez, North Carolina, to be associate pastor, being over the bus ministry, the children's church, be their youth leader. And they were starting a Christian school and to be assistant principal there. And I was really excited because I was doing what I felt like God wanted in my heart, and that he wanted me to do. So I started there, and then I met a lady that was a little older than me from my father's church, who came to visit there at my church to meet me, and we ended up in a relationship that I knew that it wasn't God, but I wanted to have somebody in my life. So I don't understand the whole thing, but sometimes you do things that's not God, and it puts you on the wrong path. And I'll never forget when I was getting married. I got married at the magistrate's office, and that magistrate said, "You sure about this? You want to do this?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You sure?" And I felt in my heart that God, at that moment, was trying to get to me and really question, am I doing the right thing? Well, little did I know that she had a past of being with drugs and alcohol, but at the time when I met her, she was no longer doing that. And so when she had back surgery, she got on pain medicine, which we all know that that's a big problem in America today. And her life went back to drinking and smoking marijuana and drugs. And one day I come home, and she'd been smoking with her daughter. And I was not happy about it. I was really upset. And I called and told her mama, and her mama tried to help her, and she got angry at me, and we ended up being separated. And at that time, I had just lost my father about a year before, and my mother had been diagnosed with cancer, terminal cancer. A few months before that, my grandfather died, and 3 months before that, my grandmother had died. So within 2 years, I lost my closest of family members. So this was really hitting me hard in the spirit, in my heart. I was devastated. Now I was losing my wife to drugs and alcohol, and I didn't know what to do.
Did you go to counseling did you try to make it work with your wife and do marriage counseling?
I did. I realized that maybe there was something that I could do to save my family and not find my wife dead from painkillers. And so I went to counseling, reaching out, trying to get help. And I didn't know what was going to happen. And at that point, I had a business that my father had left me that I run on my own, a wood shaving business. And the man who was my supplier that I had went to church with in my earlier days, I had went to his house, and I got there, which my wife knew him too. And I went to his house, and when I got there, and I went up to the door to knock on the door, my wife was inside sitting at the table. And they didn't know that I had walked up to the door, and he reached over and kissed her. And I knocked on the door, and he came to the door. My wife had left the room and went towards the back of the house. Well, when I got inside, at first I didn't say nothing to him. I was like wondering why she's doing there and what was going on. And I ended up getting an argument and a fight. And little did I know that he would have a .357 pistol laying there, and that when I turned to leave, he shot me as I was leaving. And I grabbed the gun, and he was killed. And I found myself a few hours later sitting in a county jail after coming from the hospital, wondering how all this could happen in a few hours.
Where were you shot at?
I was shot through my thigh, my upper leg. He had the gun at that time down at his waist, and when he shot me, I had turned to go out the door, but I got shot before I could go out the door. And so I was like, how could all of a sudden I be charged with first-degree murder? And my mother was dying with cancer, and I didn't know how many days she had left, you know. So I was posted a bond because I had no previous, felonies, no criminal background. And right before I could post bond, my mother died while I was in jail. And that was probably one of the hardest things, that I couldn't be with my family. And my pastor at that time came and spent time with me. And but then shortly right after I had that happened, a week later, after they gave me a bond, my house burnt down that weekend. And I had worked hard, and I had bought that house when I was 20 because I wanted a family and a place for my family to live. And suddenly now my mother's gone, and my house is burnt to the ground, and it was suspicious that it was arson. And I was just devastated. So my family friends came and posted my bond, and I was so grateful to have people who wanted to get me out. And that was the love of God. And but it was very hard when I got out that my wife was gone, my mother was gone, my home was gone, and I was pretty devastated. And I had some of my mother's friends who reached out to me because they didn't want me to go home and sit by myself just with my stepdad, who was pretty depressed over losing his wife. And so I began to help with one of my friends who owned the Napa Service Center. And so it was different for me,
Did you get a court-appointed attorney, or how did that work with your attorney status?
I did. I had a court-appointed attorney at that time. And it was John Bird, who was from this county. And John was very caring about me. He visited me every week at the jail just to come to check on me. But when I got out, there was no plea offer for nothing less than second-degree murder. And in my heart, God, I had a conviction I couldn't agree to that, because in my heart I knew that I did not mean to kill my friend, and that bothered me. And nothing that happened did I want to happen. But, you know, God knows, and he was in control. And so I wanted to get another attorney, and so at that time, like I said, all I had was my property. The house had burnt down, and I was going to have to sell my property to get an attorney. So I had a friend of mine from my stepdad who said, I know an attorney who's a very good attorney. And at that time, he was coming out of the DA's office, a very well-known DA. And he wanted to meet me and listen to my case and wanted to help me. And he offered to do my case for like $25,000, and which was great. I mean, other people wanted $75,000. It was impossible. And I told him I had land, but I couldn't sell it. So at the time, he had come out of the office. He had a few issues himself that was nothing major, but he got arrested the next day after I met him for a misdemeanor. And so he had to go to get some help for whatever, alcohol or whatever it was at that time, and he wasn't able to be in the county and had to go out of state for that.
So, and just for time's sake, with 10 minutes left, tell us about, did you eventually get another attorney, retain another attorney?
Yes, and that's when I realized I had to have somebody else, and I went to Stephen Brackett out of Hickory. Okay. And I told Stephen that Larry had recommended him, and I was told that I couldn't hire him. It would be $90,000 because he was a very well-known man. Mm-hmm. And little did I know God had a miracle there too, because I was a week away from trial. And so he agreed to be my attorney, and I hadn't given him a dime yet. And other than $125 I had to borrow for a consultation fee. So at that time, I still hadn't went to trial. We went to trial, and like I said, I was facing life without parole, first-degree murder.
You were able to pay your attorney at some point?
Yes.
Right? Okay. How did you do that?
I had a friend of mine that bought my property from me, okay. $25,000, and so I gave him $25,000. Told him, I said, that's all I have. So he agreed. He said, well, that's fine. And he originally said $35,000, but he said that was fine. Excuse me.
So what happened at the actual trial?
Well, when I went to trial, I had to relive everything, you know, and that's probably one of the toughest part, and knowing how serious it was. And when I got on the stand and began to tell my part and was questioned, I was so nervous knowing that I had to have a hold of everything, that when I answered the best I knew. Having all these people watching me and staring at me, I was so afraid that my mouth got so dry and I couldn't move, just my lips. And I wanted to take a drink of water, and I couldn't even move my hand to drink water. So I went through a week of a trial, and I was convicted of second-degree murder, which that's what they had offered me initially. Right. And I was so grateful that day when it was over that I had that behind me.
What kind of sentence did you get? How many years?
I had a 12-year to 15-year sentence, which 15 was the sentence, but I could possibly get out at 12 years after 12. So my attorney filed for an appellate attorney for appeal, and I went to Central Prison. I was sent to Central Prison, where they have the death row inmates, and where they process people like they were convicted of murder. And so when I got there at Central Prison in Raleigh, I remember walking down that hallway carrying my little bag, and it was like a long hallway, like a length of a football field. And it was just, I felt so alone, and it was a cold hallway. And I was like, God, why am I here? And my unit was the old death row unit. They had just built a new death row unit. And I got in my cell, and the cell was just so dungy from the inmates that were on death row. They would smoke cigarettes, and it had the smell in the cell, and And here I couldn't go outside. I couldn't make any phone calls. I couldn't have no touch with my family. And I was like, God, why? Why did this happen? What am I doing here? And so I had a little Gideon New Testament I got from my chaplain, and I began to read, and God gave me a scripture out of Psalms 142. And God spoke this to me and put it in my heart, and it says, I cried to the Lord with my voice, and with my voice to the Lord do I make my supplication. And crying out to God. When my spirit was overwhelmed and fainted, throwing my weight upon Him, and I was just desperate. And I knew that God gave me that. And it said, the last verse says, bring my life out of prison. And that was my cry, that I may confess and praise and give thanks to your name. The righteous will surround me, and I believe God did that. The righteous will surround me and cover themselves because of me, for you will deal bountifully with me. And I've seen that to come to pass, that verse that God gave me, and I'm standing here or sitting here today, and that's what God's done for me.
So tell me about we just have a few minutes left, so if you could tell the listeners just in just a couple minutes, what happened with the appeal?
Well, when I had went to processing and so forth, and I was waiting on my appeal, and when I went to my first prison I was waiting for it to go to a maximum prison in close custody. And I said, God, can you reach somebody's heart and put them on my, tell them where I'm at and they can get to me. And I received a letter a week later from a young girl who went to school all of my life, had never been to her house, never talked to her on the phone or anything. And she said, I want you to know that I had a dream about you, and in that dream, Jesus was with you. And I seen Billy, who worked at the prison system, and I wanted to know where you were, and I had to write you and let you know that God.
So was the and I was asking about your appeal. What happened actually? Did the Court of Appeals? How did the Court of Appeals rule on your appellate brief?
Well, at that time, I knew that I was waiting, and I was hoping this attorney could help me, and I had never talked to him. So they shipped me to Eastern, and I began to study my court case and study law, and I found one of the reasons for it, I felt like in my heart, that God showed me that I had a self-defense, that they did not tell the jury that they could find me not guilty by reason of self-defense. And I told my attorney that I had previously that I felt like this was the case for me. And so I came in from my class one evening, and I just got on my bed, and I poured my heart out to God, and I said, Jesus, I don't have money, I don't have an attorney, nobody I can call and they can get me out. But I knew that I was not in the will of God for my life, and I had 10 more years to do. And so the next week, I come in from my class, and I went to see my sergeant to get to go see my programmer. And he told me I was shipping. And I was like, what am I shipping? They don't ship you after lunchtime, they ship you early in the morning. So my programmer, when I told her, she was shot. You can't ship, you're in school. I said, I know. So she looked it up on the computer and went to check with the lady over all our documents. Came back to tell me, and she said, we have been ordered by a judge in Raleigh to release you immediately. And I began to weep and to cry. And I knew God heard my cry. And my attorney that I had for my trial, I called him, and they answered my phone call, and then they began to explain to me that my appeal had went through, that I had won my appeal, that the judge or judges ruled that the judge was biased to me, that he did not tell the jurors that they could find me not guilty by reason of self-defense. So they overthrew the conviction. And I thought I was a free man because they told me they could release me. So at that point, I'm giving everything away. I'm so excited. And so I get my soap and my shampoo, just everything I had, and I started giving it to other inmates, and I was so happy, and I'm sitting there waiting and for somebody to come get me. And little did I know they would take me back, and I would come back to McDowell County and sit in the jail. And they were actually, the guards were glad to see me, and they said I really looked good.
This is when you went back to McDowell
jail.
And you grew up in that area, is that right? Okay. So you were shipped back to McDowell County Jail, and so what happened then?
So at that point, I did not know why I was still locked up. And so eventually the lieutenant called me to his office and said, "You may not know why you're here." And I said, "No, I don't." He said, "Well, actually, the DA went and had the judge to sign papers for you to be retried." And so I was amazed.
Well, and so we are going to hear part 2 on Monday. You just heard from Vince. He was initially tried for first-degree murder, and you've heard the story about how he was in the ministry, and then he had the situation involving his wife. And so we're going to pick up here on Monday at 8:30 and hear the rest of Vince's story and what happens with the retrial. And you're going to hear a whole lot more about how Jesus got to his heart. It's so hard to fit all these life stories into just these 30-minute episodes, but I know you'll want to stay tuned for that because God really did a powerful work in his heart. Thank you for tuning in with us. This is Word of Faith Responds. You can go to our website for more of the radio programs that we have done. They're all on our website now at wordoffaithfellowship.org. And please tune in on Monday. Thank you very much.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. What's in store today on the roller coaster of Wall Street? The opening bell about a half hour away. Futures pointing up after yesterday's steep drop. Here's ABC's Aaron Katursky.
The Dow opens down more than 1,000 points and 10%.